in ways that were not publicized as a regional effort. I also helped launch and am currently vice chair of the Detroit-Wayne County Health Authority, representing the Detroit City Council. This health authority makes sure that there are health services provided for everybody in the city of Detroit, everybody in Wayne County. Anyone who is in need of health care services without insurance can basically get the same kind of services being promoted right now by President Barack Obama, by Congressman John Connors with H.R. 676. The Detroit-Wayne County Health Authority has led the way as a very new agency in putting together federal, state funds, and foundation money to provide insurance resources for our people. But I also believe you have to protect the city. Just a couple of years ago, I alone stood against $12 million in the Detroit Police Department that came from the federal government, which some of my colleagues and the then police chief and then Wayne County Sheriff supported $12 million, which should have been in the Detroit Police Department budget for more police. That went to Wayne County Sheriff's budget, as Wayne County Sheriff's got that $12 million to police DDOT buses, the public bus transportation. So guess what happened in the last few months? An arbitrator said, should never have happened. Should never have happened. That $12 million, which was garnered by the city, should have stayed in the city budget to help with our own police costs.
A wise man once said that out of all studies, history is best qualified to reward the researcher. I think if we look back a few years in this particular city with the court system, Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, 36th District Court, when you talk about whether Wayne County should merge with the city of Detroit, the municipality of the city of Detroit, is not, I don't think we're ready for that just yet. I think we have a long road to go in getting our own, in the city of Detroit, our own issues together. President Barack Obama, like our colleague just stated, has indicated publicly that he's willing to pump hundreds of millions of dollars into urban areas or urban cities that are willing to embrace the concept and the practical application of regionalism. Regionalism, whether you know it or not, will become the new world order in the Tri-County area. If we want to move this region forward, we must embrace the ideal of regionalism. Just like Mama Watson, I too stand firm in not giving up complete control of all of our assets. We're not trying to, please forgive me, that's why I've been calling her Mama Watson for a long time. So I see some people snickering. She's gonna always be Mama Watson. But there is, we have to embrace that. If we cannot embrace regionalism or the idea of regionalism, we can't move forward. Again, President Barack Obama has indicated that he's willing to, publicly, that he's willing to pump hundreds of millions of dollars into urban areas that will embrace that idea. We cannot move forward unless we embrace regionalism. Thank you.
Okay. The clock is a cruel master. And I'm going to give you 1 minute for this last question. I cannot let this go. We've answered 13 questions so far, and this is one that I would like to just, I cannot let this one go. Why is this opportunity for leadership so important to you? 1 minute, please.
We have 76% of our young black males in the school system that drop out. Forbes say that Detroit is the worst place to live on the planet Earth. We are high in home foreclosures, or people not being able to pay their mortgages. We have #1 in unemployment, so they say. We have #1 in homelessness, so they say. Businesses won't come back to this city. People who have left this city won't come back. People are leaving and taking their children to other school districts because of the simple problem, and that's crime. If we cannot get a leadership that's going to deal with the individuals, properly deal with the individuals who are terrorizing and victimizing our citizens, our residents, and our commercial businesses, we can never move this city forward, regardless of how grandiose our ideas about business and economics and all that. We have to deal with the #1 issue that has put Detroit in the position that it's in. Thank you.
I'm Joanne Watson. The city of Detroit is sitting on a gold mine. 20% of the world's freshwater supply is right here in the Great Lakes. We're surrounded by all of the revenue generation the city needs and the region needs and the Midwest needs in order to not just thrive but to prosper. We're sitting on it. It has not been maximized. Hydro energy projects are just waiting on the threshold for development, for regeneration. The federal government is keyed in. The state government is stepping up. Alternative and renewable energy, that day is here, and we're sitting on the new oil. No one's talking about fuel anymore. It's water. In Arizona, they're rationing it. In other parts of the country, they can't water their lawns every day. In Michigan, we take it for granted, and we're sitting on the goal where we're not pitiful, poor, or powerless. And if we take advantage of the energy and the resources available in the water that no one else in the country has access to, like Michigan, we will grow and put heads of households back to work again.
Lee, can you repeat that question one more time? I want to make sure I get this right since...
I don't want to get her tangled up in this.
Okay.
The question as written is, why is this opportunity for leadership so important to you?
It's important to me because I was that young man who was walking around, who was aimless and didn't know, have any direction in their lives. But somebody got involved and showed me how to be a true leader, showed me how to be a man, showed me how to be someone who can represent themselves before a group of people like yourselves and make you proud of me as a product of your community. I think it's extremely important for me to get involved because these young people need to see someone like me who looks like them, who can present themselves in a way that they probably never thought that they could ever be in that position. When I go out and I speak to young people at schools, I walk into a room and they know who I am. They know me not because I'm some celebrity. They know me because I don't dribble a basketball. They know me because they saw me on television reporting as a police officer in a uniform. Out not in a uniform, but in a suit. I wasn't a police officer, but what I did was I represent them, and I bring to these young people an idea of who they can be, and it's important for me to continue that as I move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Tate.
Shelley Ifoy. I've been a leader in the city of Detroit for over 30 years in law enforcement and as a teacher with the Detroit public school system. I rose through the ranks from police officer to the rank of lieutenant, and I ran the most important unit within the city of Detroit, our child abuse unit. I was tired in the condition that our city was in. Some of you guys in my age group remember when we used to go out of town to the south, and if you was visiting relatives, they said, "Oh, those people from Detroit is here." People were impressed with us. I want our image to change, and I want people to say, "Oh, you from Detroit? Wow." That's the way it used to be for the youngsters that are not old enough to remember this. People used to look at us in awe and say, "You're from Detroit." Thank you.
I can best answer that question by sharing this with you. At a forum a couple months ago, someone asked me the question, what have you done in your life to deserve being rewarded with a seat on city council? My answer to that is, I've done nothing in my life to deserve being rewarded with a seat on city council. However, my life has been one of preparation. I've been servicing you as a police officer for 13 years. I've been a public servant serving you for 13 years. What I want to do now is take that service to a different level. My life is one of service. I intend to serve you, whether I'm at the council table or I remain as a police officer. But however, I would like to, and hopefully you will honor me with the privilege of serving you on city council.
There are so many reasons that I could spend an hour here, but for me, this is the most significant moment for leadership that I've ever seen in my life in this community. It's terribly important to me that I be an example for my children. I've got an 8-year-old son, my namesake. I've got a 15-year-old daughter who's as bright and brilliant, as pretty as she can be, and I want her to understand that her father, like his parents, stepped up and offered some leadership to this city. That's why this moment is so significant and important to me, because I want to leave them that legacy, and I want them to give back like I've given back.
State your name again, please.
David Cross.
Thank you.
Fred Elliott Hall. I too have a young family, a 15-year-old daughter, 5-year-old son, and leadership to me is lacking in the city of Detroit. We're starting to get it back. We have a new president, we have a new mayor, and it's time for a new city council. We have people ready to serve who've gone out and gotten their education and done some things before they decided to run and said, look, you told us, go out, get an education, make something of yourself, and be a leader. Be a leader in your community, be a leader in your church, be a leader in your family. And we've done that. And we're saying now we want to lead this community to the 21st century and move this city forward. I like to say I'm not running for